Hey guys, we're going to take a look at my Orphnaecus species blue. I think the common name is going around as the panay blue. There's not a whole lot of information about these tarantulas online, so I can't give you a whole lot. All I can give you as far as information is what I've learned with the one I've got. Okay, so we're going to take a look at him. We're going to do a transfer of him. Hopefully it doesn't get away. It's an old world species, so we're expecting it to have that kind of a temperament and try not to get tagged, you know. So the reason why I haven't got a good look at him is it's a heavy webbing species tarantula. This is the critter keeper that I've got it in right here, and you can see how webbed up it is. And then we're going to put him into this. Okay, it's more of a more of an arboreal ground, kind of like what you'd put a sun tiger in, you know. It's got a lot of ground space. It's got as much ground space as it does height. I think this is like a 12 by 12, and so I think this will do. I want to see what it does in more of an arboreal enclosure. We've done this one here in the critter keeper. It's webbed up really good. I think some webs up in more of an arboreal enclosure would look pretty cool. And you know, I don't know if this is an arboreal species, to tell you the truth. You know, I think it's more like what you'd find with like the Venezuelan sun tigers and the Singapore blues, you know. So that's what we're gonna set her up in. I'm getting the lid on right now. I put plastic in here, cut out a little hole, and well, not a little hole, but I plasticed up a lot of this vent so it keeps the humidity in. I've kept the humidity for this one about 65%, and it seems to have done really well in that. So, and I turned the light on. This is my little light, and I shined it on the side, and the reason the light's on there is because it doesn't like the light, and I wanted to get it out of that corner, which it worked. It brought it right into this hole. Let's see if we can take a look at him. I can kind of see him. So he's sitting right down there in that hole. And we're going to see if we can transfer him into this. And hopefully it does pretty good. I think it'll like it. And it won't, you know, this way I can't lose. It's not a, you know, it's got plenty of ground space if it wants to stay on the ground. And if it doesn't, if I don't see it climbing around and using the height, then I'll know on the next transfer to give it a lot more ground, and we won't have to worry about the height. But like I said, there's not a whole lot about these on the internet, so I've been kind of learning and experimenting as we go. I do know it's from the Philippines, and I do know it doesn't like to be seen much, you know. This one won't eat anything but crickets, and I've never seen it eat. I just got to throw a cricket in, and it gets it later when nobody's watching. Really secluded, real shy tarantula. I'm just getting some stuff ready here. Getting some catch cups, which I should have had before I started the video, but I didn't, so I'm doing it kind of right now as we go. Sorry about the video. So, just in case, getting my stuff together. And hopefully this transfer goes good. I'm going to try to figure out where I can put this camera so you guys can see. Let's put it, I think, right here. That should work. Okay, so I'm gonna try to dig her out of this hole, and I need to tilt this forward. I'm going to tilt it toward the enclosure I want her to go into, so we'll tilt that up a little bit, and need a little more. I don't want to give it a gap between the two enclosures, because when it goes over the top, if it has that gap, it'll probably decide to take it and run in between them. So I want to keep it pretty tight so that she wants to run into the new enclosure and not just down between them. So That's probably about as good as I'm going to get it. Put this one more thing in here. Okay. So, angle this so you guys can see a little bit. Gonna need both hands. Hey, there's her legs. Man, wouldn't that be nice if she just kind of walked? Just said, okay, I'll go in there. That looks cool. I don't see that happening, but so yeah, it's been kind of a cool tee, you know, with the webbing it does, and I mean, it's real pretty. The webs. I mean, that's all you get to really see. This is as much as I've ever seen of her. And I'm not going to mess with her for a sec. I want to see if she'll walk out. I mean, I doubt she was going to walk into this new enclosure, but now I move the light away from her. She's coming out. She's going to go back in. So we'll start messing with her. I bet she takes off pretty quick, though. I really didn't want to dig her out of all this webbing, you know. It'd be hard to get her out, so if I can just get her to go in, I'm sure she's gonna have a pretty good attitude. She's never been messed with, really. I mean, I moved her in here when she was, yeah, she's biting. She was probably about an inch, a little over, an inch and a half probably. I put her in here, and so she's way overdue for an enclosure change. I'm trying to move her gently without messing with her too much, you know, freaking her out and getting her to run. I'd like her just to, you know, you start shoving them around some of them, it just freaks them out and they take off running. Mess with them too much. So we're doing it gently, just trying to coax her. Just trying to convince her that this new enclosure is better for her. She's going to really like it. I know she doesn't have any webs, but yeah, we're going to get the tweezers in if she doesn't bite them. I don't want her to bite the tweezers, so if she starts striking, then I got to just use the straw, because I don't want her to hurt her teeth if she strikes these tweezers. Nice threat pose, huh? You can't get her to back up, though. But she's not striking now, so I'm going to kind of push her a little bit. Yeah, she's gonna roll over on her back and start striking at the air. There she goes. So she's not striking. I got the tweezers in. She hasn't been striking since that first little bit. So I'm just trying to move her, keeping the straw in between the tweezers. So if she does strike something, it's gonna be the straw, not the metal. We don't want to hurt her. There she goes. Got her front feet in, deciding if she wants to leave. A little more. You know, really, I was expecting her to take off on me. I still may, but so I want to get her to the back, so when I move this thing, she doesn't come trying to get back into her thing. So I'm still trying to coax her in there a little bit, and then we'll take a look at her. But she's still wanting to come back into her own enclosure, so alright, now if she'll stay there, I'll go really slow, move her enclosure, old one out of the way. Be real slow about it, and she'll probably just let us shut the door. There we go. Not too bad. That was a lot easier than I was expecting. That's great. Didn't spook her too bad. There she is. She's probably a good 3.5 inches. So we'll shine a light in on there. Pretty cool tee. Love the webbing. Just the way she's acting, I think that that she is more of a terrestrial spider and not as much of an arboreal one. But you know, time will tell. She's getting pretty big, and this new enclosure's, you know, it'll work good for her. She's got plenty of floor space, great places to hide, deep dirt so she can dig. We've got I'd say probably 3.5, 4 inches of dirt. She did dig in this old one here. I mean, all this webbing. Yeah, maybe not so bad. Pretty much just webbed up around the dirt. Didn't really dig into it, looks like. Did a little bit down the middle. But this new enclosure, she's got plenty of room to dig if she chooses to. And we'll do an update on her and kind of see how this new enclosure goes. So if you guys know any places where they got some good information on Orphnaecus species blue, I'd love to hear about it, because I'd like to know more about them. But there's mine, and she's doing good. And so far, I mean, I've raised her from she was a 1/2 inch sling, and I just kept her pretty good humidity, like I said, about 65% humidity, and she's done really well. So so yeah, there she goes. Appreciate everybody for watching, and you guys have a good one, man.